Okay, so starting off with Alyssa. Alyssa is Lisa Basil. There's just a lot of pieces that there's just not the right pieces in this game to make a lot of the Ace Attorney characters as accurate as possible. I think if you play Ace Attorney and you saw this, you would know this was Lisa Basil if you even remember who she is, because she is kind of a bit of a side character. But yeah, hopefully this was a good attempt at Lisa. For Asuka, I actually went back and forth between whether I wanted her to be Maggie or Lotta Hart, but I decided on Lotta because I thought it'd be really funny to see her with this afro, and I feel like Lotta and Asuka kind of have very similar attitudes in terms of like their how quickly they can get fired up about something. So I figured this would work pretty well. Now this one for Azucena, this is actually supposed to be Emma Skye. I acknowledge this may not be the best. Okay, so there's a couple things I need to say about this. One, I have not played through that much Ace Attorney. I've only played the original trilogy, and I'm currently playing through the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I am on case 4, so do not spoil the other games or anything in the future. I only saw this design because when I was looking on the internet for a reference to kind of make the character, I saw this outfit, and this was much more doable as compared to the Emma Skye that's in Rise from the Ashes. So please do not talk about wherever this future Emma Skye design comes in from. I saw a lot of things that I don't understand and it doesn't make sense to me from looking up Ace Attorney stuff for this video. But please do not spoil anything in the comment section. I will try to also remain spoiler free for these characters, but only talk about the original trilogy, please. Brian as Karma, and I decided to do Brian as Karma because I just thought it makes sense fighting wise. I mean, I didn't, spoiler alert, I didn't do it for Heihachi. I know it would have made sense to do kind of the Franziska, Manfred, Heihachi, Reina thing, but I actually have a really funny one for Heihachi that's a lot different and kind of later towards the line, so you'll see that later on. But in either event, I would have done Brian for Manfred anyway because I couldn't really picture him being anyone else. And on top of that, I feel like Manfred and Brian are like equal levels of crazy, so I feel like that would work pretty well. Claudio being Luke Atme just makes sense. I mean, how are you gonna look at this character and play Ace Attorney and imagine him as literally anyone else? I mean, I feel like I was like legally required to do this. Imagine hitting a while running 2 and just going, it's funny. Devil Jin was hard to come up with an idea for, but I decided to go with Richard Wellington. His outfit was relatively easy to copy, and Richard Wellington is just as crazy as Devil Jin is, so that works. Now, Dragunov was Dragunov was so difficult for me to come up with one, but when I saw Objection! Oh my god, I had to do it. I had to be like, okay, Dragunov has to be the old guy. It would work way too well. It would be awesome for him to play the old guy. Like it just looks great. There's just something about it that I just really love with this guy being Dragunov. For Feng Wei, I chose Winston Payne. Unfortunately, the fit, like, or not the fit, but the hair, you can't really get a hairstyle that works perfectly for Payne, but I mean, I think it works well enough. If you guys have been watching my videos, you actually would have seen this Godot outfit twice. You would have seen that in the timing in less than 4 minutes video, which if you want a guide on how to time your attacks, that video is going to be decently helpful. But you'll see he shows up there, and I believe in one of my previous videos that I recently uploaded, again, I'm playing Huarong using that outfit. So you might have already seen this, but this is just Godot, essentially. There's no specific reason why I chose Jack 8 to be Dick Gumshoe. I just thought it'd be kind of funny. I don't know. I feel like the aura is similar. I just feel like the energy is there. I don't really know how else to put it. Jin is the most Edgeworth-like character in the entire game, in my opinion, so I had to make Jin Edgeworth. I feel like I legally had no other choice. Now, unfortunately, there isn't much Kurain Village representation, but I chose one of the elders of the Kurain Village for June because I just feel like she has that sort of energy, per se, so I chose one of the elders. Kazuya being Damon Gant, to me, just makes perfect sense. Like, it's just something that I needed to do, okay? To me, it just works. So for King, I decided to go with Furio Tigre, I believe that's his name, Tigre. I was just like, he's like, wants to be an animal, tiger-like dude, well, let's just do it, let's just make him king. I feel like that's just the most logical option. Now, unfortunately, you can't copy his fit super well, but I tried. Like I said, there's a lot of characters that you can't get down to an absolute T, but The idea is there. Now you may be looking at me and saying, hey, what did you do for Kuma or Panda? Nothing. Because it's basically impossible to make a custom for Kuma or Panda that is even remotely close to anything Ace Attorney related, as far as I know anyway. And on top of that, I just don't like Kuma or Panda, so I chose Lars to be Phoenix Wright because Lars is probably the most justice guy in the whole game. Law is stupid, and so I decided that Mike Meekins would be very fitting for martial law and martial law's player base. I mean, Lee being red-white just works too well in my opinion. I had to make him red-white. It just works. Leo is Ron Delight. I think that Leo and Ron Delight are equally as twinky, almost, you know, like I feel like they have pretty similar vibes. I wish I could get a more accurate like hair, but I don't know, I feel like it's not bad. I feel like this is a decent Ron Delight. Now, Leroy was really difficult to choose because there aren't really black characters in the original Ace Attorney trilogy, but Leroy has the energy of the judge, so I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna make Leroy the judge. Now, Lily is Dahlia Hawthorne, and if you know anything about Dahlia, you know why this fits for multiple reasons. Okay, so I last minute actually switched around Nina and Lydia, so now Nina is Desiree. We'll see who Lydia is in a little bit. And I didn't really think there was a super good one for Nina, energy-wise, or just in terms of like making a good fit. This is the best that I could come up with. Paul being Will Powers. I mean, I just love this so much. Initially, I had him as someone else. I think I initially had him as the judge, and then I thought that was just kind of weird. And then when I was looking through the character list again, and I saw Will Powers, I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this. Raven is the Jammin' Ninja. I mean, again, there's not many characters that really could fit. I think Raven just had to be the Jammin' Ninja. I am so confused on this color. Like, I don't really know if I got the colors right. I'm not a super visual like person. I'm not super good with colors or anything like that. So if these colors are off, I really do apologize. I tried my best. I also tried my best with Arena being Franziska. Again, Tekken just didn't really offer the right customization tools for this. Maybe this is something I'll revisit again in the future. I feel like I can only kind of really get her colors there, but not always in the right places. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I tried. Shaheen being Turner Gray, I think works in a way that I did not expect. I mean, I actually really, really like Shaheen being Turner Gray. I mean, I don't like Turner Gray at all, but I think that, I don't know, it's just something about it just works for me. Now, Steve is one of my favorites. Steve is Larry Butts. Now, I feel like I could have made Steve a lot of just really random people, but I wanted him to be a part of, you know, the main cast. I just thought it'd be funny if Larry just had hands. Like, imagine if like Larry could just box. That would be really awesome. I had to do it. Another one of my favorites coming up here, Victor as Cody Hackins. It's just too good. I mean, come on, this is just too hilarious. Xiao Yu as Maya Fey. I did my best. I feel like there just aren't the right pieces for it. I think Xiao Yu is easily the best candidate to be Maya. It's just I don't think there are the best candidates for making Xiao Yu as Maya. We just need better pieces, I think. Yoshimitsu is the Steel Samurai. Again, I tried. I think I got the color scheme down to be okay and put the colors in mostly the right places. It's just the main problem is that there just isn't a good face for Yoshimitsu because, you know, it's Yoshimitsu. And Zafina is Vasquez. I mean, it's very difficult to replicate Vasquez's outfit. So I kind of just took Zafina's default and changed up the colors a little bit. That was kind of the most that I could do. I mean, I don't really see how else I'm supposed to replicate anything even close to Vasquez's like outfit. I tried, and I think if anyone fits her the most, it would be Zafina. Now this one is going to be way left field. Eddie Gordo as Bruce Goodman. Now, okay, there's the only logic behind this is the fact that I think Eddie Gordo is a good guy, and Bruce Goodman was a good guy. You know, he just wanted to do the right thing, and you know, unfortunate things happened to him because of it. So Yeah, that's literally why I chose Eddie to be Goodman, just because I think Eddie is a good man. Lydia as Adrian. Adrian Andrews, one of my favorite characters in Ace Attorney. She's super awesome, and she's really tragic. But I really like this one. To me, this is one of those attempts that even though it's not perfect, it still feels really great. Now, I was talking about Heihachi for a long time from the beginning, and I had two ideas for Heihachi. When I was looking at Winston Payne, I saw a different version where apparently Winston Payne, in some future Ace Attorney game, I don't know which one, but apparently he just gets some serious drip, and when I saw the hair, I'm like, oh, that could be Heihachi. But we already have Feng Wei as Winston Payne, so instead I decided to do something really funny, which would be Heihachi as Victor Kudo. I mean, Victor is just like some old dude who is perverted and is always angry at the younger generation, and it's just really stupid. And Heihachi is super old, and I think it's becoming a bit of a joke with how old Heihachi is, and how he's kind of refusing to die. So I thought that could be fun. And then the last thing that we have here is Clive. Now, how in the world do we turn Clive into an Ace Attorney character? This is where we turn to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where I turned Clive into Kazuma, because he has a sword and Clive has a sword, and that was literally it.